Welcome to the Northern Ends podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. I am so sorry if you're picking up that noise.
A little bit.
I have no control over what happens next door at the gas station, and there's always something going on next door at the gas station.
So rude. Don't they know you have a podcast to record?
It's not concrete going in or concrete coming out or gas things being filled. I think it's the dude taking down the fence. I don't know why he puts up a wooden fence around the thing by the gas. I don't know. I don't know. I give up. I just give up. There's just noise. There's always noise. I live downtown, there's always noise, but it's always from the gas station. Is it from the construction anywhere else down the street? No. No. Just the gas station. Why? Of all of the problems I expected to have for noise, that was not it. Oh,
Who knows?
it's fine. We'll make do. Gosh. Oh. It's episode 415. We're recording on schedule. We're even recording mostly on time. But like I cut my
Mostly?
thumb.
No, no.
And
What'd you
it's right where
do?
you do stuff. So it's like in and out of water, cleaning and doing stuff. So like it's angry at me. A tuna can
Yeah.
attacked me. Specifically, the lid of
Rude.
the tuna can attacked me. I think I really need to I need to talk to mom about finding out the name of the can opener she has. Because she's got that one that separates the uh glue binding situation at the top and pulls the whole top off. So there's
Ah,
no
okay.
sharp edges. So I'm less
Yes, I've
likely to
heard of
cut
those.
myself. I need to get one of those. I think it's time to admit that I am too klutzy for a regular can opener. Too
Fair,
klutzy.
yes. We
I'm
we
also
enjoy
too
you
dumb
not
to
being
figure out
injured.
electric can openers. So that's also not an option because I've never been able to get those things to work.
Electric can openers are just finicky. They're like printers. They only work when they feel like it.
So much no. So I need a safety can opener because I'm an adult. Hey, I'm 42. How's your mid-30s going?
I am now 34 and I'm doing great. I had a dinosaur themed birthday surprise party, which is why there's a giant T-Rex balloon in my background
I
because
freaking
my
love that
friends are
balloon.
amazing.
I love that freaking balloon so much. It's not even funny. I really, really love that balloon.
And I got dinosaur cards, I got dinosaur presents.
Yeah.
Like I just so my friend 3D printed this knit texture dino for me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mid-30s,
He's
man.
so
That's when the
cute.
fun birthdays happen. That's when the fun
I got this
birthdays
fun
happen.
shirt. I'm a skeleton. Not
I
a
like the
dinosaur, but a
shirt.
skeleton.
I like the shirt.
It's a good shirt. It's really
I
comfy
like
and
the
it's like
shirt.
it's got that waffle texture and it's got thumb holes. It's so comfy.
Finish dismantling whenever you're dismantling. So there's a dude outside dismantling things. My building manager dude is vacuuming the floors. Today is just not my day. Heavens, I'm not
Unfortunate.
streaming. Okay. Right. Sure. I am delighted. Whoops, as I push the microphone. Buy your gifts because I love your dinosaur themed party situation. It's very freaking cute. It's very freaking cute.
So many dinosaurs. Dinosaur Lego set from Mr.
So
Diana.
fun. No dinosaurs for me. Okay, well, possibly a dinosaur for me. You and I are talking about a pattern for Stuffy.
That's true. It's true.
So you might get dinosaurs for me. You might get creepy fantasy
Creepy eyeball
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Creepy eyeball
I'll take a creepy
dinosaurs for
eyeball
me.
dinosaur.
Because I haven't made anything for your birthday yet, so it is a discussion that we need to have. Shall we talk knitting
Let's talk knitting and or crochet and
and
or
or
whatever
crochet?
else we do.
I don't have anything other than knitting and crochet this week. I think you've got some spinning.
I do indeed have some spinning.
I have three things and a whip it or rip it.
I have four things and a whip it or rip
Oh,
it.
you're going first.
Oh, okay, everybody hold on to your butts. I'm going first.
Not normal.
Not normal. Okay. So in the thumbnail, let's start there.
Sure, that's a good
Um,
place to start.
I was holding up a square,
Yes.
and this is the willow square for the Reverie Vest. by which is a new to me designer, but he makes these like gorgeous shirts and vests and stuff. And so I had yarn for a vest, and so I started trying to make the vest. This was a test square because the pattern called for worsted weight on a 4 mm hook,
Hmm.
but it was supposed to end up as a 5 inch square, and this is distinctly a 7 inch square. So that was a no.
Okay.
So I did it again
Hmm.
with this. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can actually see the details. Fingering weight yarn on a 3.75 mm hook,
Hmm.
and it's slightly over 5 inches still, especially after blocking. So I'm going to do it again on a 3.5 mm hook and just, I don't know, shake my head at the pattern. But otherwise, it's makes this very pretty square, and this particular yarn happens to make sort of a stained glass effect with the green and the purple and the blue. This
I'm
one
almost wondering if
is,
maybe it's a translation error.
it could be a translation error.
I think it
I
might be a translation error.
suspect maybe he's not a native English speaker, which would make sense. I think
Potentially,
maybe he's Korean, which
potentially.
fine, I can deal with that. Totally
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Well, I mean, because you never know, right? Because sometimes you run across things, you're like, how did you get there? And if you stop and think about it, you're like, maybe this didn't start out in English, which is why in English I'm struggling.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
it's fine. I can
Mhm.
figure it out.
Yeah.
To say if you're an absolute beginner crocheter, this is maybe not the designer for you. If you've made a few things and you kind of know what's what, it's fine. Go for it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This yarn is from Indigo Dragonfly. I bought it years ago. It's the Caribou Ba base.
Carabooba.
Uh, in Triceratop of the Morning to ya.
God, I've been waiting for you to use that yarn for years.
And I got it tangled around the other ball of yarn that I bought to go with it, which is just a solid purple. Purple? It's a purple.
It's a purple.
But this one is the Tragically House Hippo, which, if that's not the most Canadian yarn name you've ever heard, but like
Listen,
niche Canadian things.
listen. TV lied to me. Where is my house hippo pet?
I know we all want house hippos.
Especially since that ad was to remind us that TV lies to you.
I know, and we're all just
The
like,
ad was
but
specifically
why?
designed by the government of Canada to go, wait, what you see might not be real.
But it's so good, and we all want house
Ugh.
hippos.
But do we remember that part?
Anyway,
No, 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 no. We all
no,
want house hippos.
yeah,
Miniature house hippos that drink out of dog bowls.
and leave little peanut butter footprints.
Yelp. Yelp.
Anyway, so this is a vest where you make a bunch of squares and sew them together in an alternating like checkerboard pattern, and then you do some like ribbing around the edges and call it a day.
Super
So I'm gonna
cute. I
see how
really
far
like
I get
that.
with this fingering weight stuff, but I'll do yet another test square, and then I'll be off to the races. You
Okay.
need to make like 8 of each color, depending on what size you're making.
That's not too bad.
So I might need to make. It's got half square versions for doing the straps.
Okay.
So I might just do like some extra half squares down the sides because I don't need necessarily whole extra square.
That would work because if you've got it on both sides, then it's a design feature.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I just do extra half squares down the sides.
It's a
Because
very cute pattern.
I'm not a medium-sized Asian man.
What?
I am in fact a large to extra large Asian man,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
which I find hilarious.
I know I'm looking at your stuff and I'm almost thinking, maybe I should do it in the DK weight and have the bigger square. So I'm making the same number of squares, but I'm encompassing my
Yeah, that
significantly
is also the
larger than a
alternative.
medium Asian man size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That because yeah, that obviously the 7 inch square covers
More.
the design. The design will be linked in the show notes,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like
It's a frick
the
gorgeous
design has
shirt.
like two of these small squares across the chest, which like my chest is not that big.
Mine is.
Well, like the rib like the ribs part of my chest, as
Mine
illustrated by
is.
this lovely shirt that I'm wearing. The bust is a whole other issue, but the actual chest part is not that big, so I only need like two of the little 5-inch squares.
Whereas I
So
definitely need something closer to the 7-inch square.
versus like this one doesn't even.
Yeah.
I feel like that this print is actually relatively accurate to where my bones are. So yeah, that's obviously much bigger.
Yes.
Because sometimes you get skeleton things and they're just like way out of whack, and you're just like, what even is this? I feel like this is relatively accurate. Not that I am any kind of student of medicine or skeletons. So it could be way out of whack, and I just don't know.
Fine. It's fine.
Anyway, that's my first thing.
It's a very cute first thing, and I'm excited to watch your journey because it helps me when I decide to make mine, reduce the amount of pre-work I have to do. Because I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to make it fit me right. That's fine. It's designed for a man. I can make those
Yeah,
changes. That's not a problem.
we can fix it.
We can fix it in post. Ah, all right. As we record today, I am working on my birthday cast on, simply because it was in the yarn bowl beside the computer desk. So these are how decisions get made in this house. I decided to cast on a shapely boyfriend cardigan. People may remember that. I've made a couple in the past. I've made a black tweed one and I've made a striped one. Both have gone to other homes because worsted weight is too heavy for me. We've come to that realization in the last year or so. So I'm doing it again in DK because that's the next step down. So that might make a nice wintry sweater for me, right? In theory.
Hmm.
So, using the rule that if you get gauge, it's fine. I got my gauge that I needed to get on the DK weight yard on a very large needle for DK weight yard, but that's fine. I needed 16 stitches over 4 inches or 18, no, 18, 16, 16 stitches over 4 inches. Anyway, a nice loose gauge. I got the gauge, not a problem. What first time too? I'm on a 6 millimeter needle. I'm on a 6 millimeter needle.
I'm sorry, a 6 mm needle for DK.
Uh-huh.
Processing. What?
Why? I don't know, but I
What?
got gauge, so I'm going with it. Guys, when I write patterns and I write do something to get gauge, it's because you really can't use my needle numbers. You cannot. In the wonderful color from Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co., from her Buffy Club Yard, and Don't Speak Latin in front of the books, I have the start of the top of a shoulder set. Look at that. Doesn't it look so nice on me?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a glorious
So
fall color.
it's gonna be a glorious. I'm thinking with my pumpkin skirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I just need to make a black pirate shirt to go with my pumpkin skirt and all will be well. But that's what I'm working on while we record here. I got my ball of yarn sitting in my skull. We have a theme going on in my skull yarn bowl that chills by my computer.
Do love that yarn bowl.
So good. It's nice weight too, just chills there and it doesn't have any problems. And it is what it is, but there we go. That's what I'm working on while we record. That's my first project. Mm.
Okay. Reach.
Oh yeah, mint tea. Ooh, ooh.
What is going on? It's tangled. Okay. It's almost not worth talking about, but I did a little more progress on the Yukon River stockings,
Mhm.
the big cabley socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing these weren't the whip it or rip it because I only got an inch done. I
I
did other
picked good,
things
did
this
I?
week. I just yeah, that yeah, the gusset is gusseting. That's yeah, some
Gusset
it's
is gusseting.
the gusset is gusseting. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. It's
All
patterned
right.
out of Interweave Knits Winter 2018. The color is Frosted Heather, which is like a light purple lavender color from Fireweed Fiber Co.
That
And
magazine's
yeah,
6 years old.
it is. I had my eye on this pattern for ages, and
Yes, you have.
finally making it.
Excellent. I'm very excited for it.
Just,
Ooh,
it's so cabley. It's very satisfying.
very satisfying. Good.
Very satisfying.
As it should be.
I just got distracted with, largely I got distracted with that vest this week. I was like, ooh, new thing. Um, so not too
Yeah.
much happened on the socks, but a little bit happened
Happens
on
to
the,
it
not much
happens to
happened on
all
the
of
socks.
us. Happens to all of us.
I didn't have like an active crochet project, so now I do.
Good.
All right, your turn.
Lord knows I have active crochet projects. Okay, gotta wait. Ah! Why? Look who's ready to do a cuff.
Yay! You're motoring through socks now. What changed?
I got sick.
Oh, that'll
I'm
do it.
home a lot of the times between lockdown and the stupid issues I've been dealing with. So there's some days where I can't really do much and there's not a lot of brain. So like I'll stream and play video games because my pain threshold's pretty high again right now. And then I listen to podcasts and I knit on a sock because if I fall asleep, it doesn't matter. If I stop halfway through a row and stare vacantly at a wall for 20 minutes, doesn't matter. I haven't lost anything. It hasn't gone anywhere. Volume of doctor's appointments the last few months has been intense. Socks, travel, they're just. I look
Fair
forward to
enough.
being free of sock work at some point. Until then, we're gonna work on socks, and it's fine because I need socks. Do I do a sock that matches my foot length with the leg length? No, guys, I have a 10-inch long foot. I don't need a 10-inch long leg on a sock. That's a very tall sock. It's too tall. Too tall. But I do like to have a regular height sock. So I got a regular height sock minus the 2 inches of ribbing, and I will do 2 inches of 1 by 1 ribbing, and then I will have another sock done. Then I have to make a second sock because you can see this ball is still kind of large, kind of big. So I'll get started on the second sock afterwards. But yeah, I'm motoring through socks, and I'll take it because at some point it'll stop, and I won't be motoring through socks anymore.
You know,
That's
might
kind of
as
how the
well
cookie
be
crumbles.
productive in between staring vacantly at walls.
Oh, it's a lot of staring vacantly at walls right now. I have one left, which means you're up again.
I'm up again. What do I have? I have another little bit of work.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, little bits and pieces. Where are you? There we are. Where's the progress marker? So that I can prove that I did stuff. If I don't prove it on the internet, did it even happen?
No. I feel like the answer is no.
I also don't remember when I worked on this, so like literally the only reason I know I worked on this is because I made a list.
All right.
And I reset my list after we were done recording, so that's the only reason I know.
Oh my
But
gosh.
apparently early in the week I worked on my blanket,
Oh,
my
good.
incredible blanket by Pearl Soho. So that's I think probably just one more row done. So I've got the pretty lavender row and I've got the pretty raspberry row, and
Mm-hmm.
I wound up some pretty well, it's reading blue on camera. It's more purple in
Yeah.
person.
Okay.
I see it as purple in person, but yeah, it's looking
It's
very blue on
purple.
camera. But that'll be the next color. So that is the Incredible Blanket by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern, and I'm doing it out of sock bits and scraps and whatnot.
Very cute blanket.
I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to the day that I have actually wound all of the little minis that I've put aside for this. Because then I can just reach in,
God.
grab a ball, and go. I don't have to stop and wind for 20 minutes. It's not stopping me, obviously, but I really look forward to the day where they're all wound.
Okay, that's fair. I tend to wind all the yarn for a project at the start.
At the moment, it's telling me when I've gone through everything once.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I started with the ones that were already in balls, and then as I go through them, I'm winding them into balls, and that tells me what I've already used. So once I'm out of little mini skeins, then I'll have to figure out some other system for making sure I don't use them too close together.
Nope. Try to do things when they're outside your field of vision, or they're black. Makes for interesting life choices. Let's go with that. Because I somehow managed to get my yarn wrapped around this project. How? How? It's not even attached. It's not even the same damn project. My life. Okay. So, 'cause I didn't show it off last week. Showed off this week. Because I had a square, right?
Hmm.
Right? Big square. It's folded. We're folded. So we're quartered. We're big square. And then I had to do a second square for WIP It or Rip It last week. See, folded,
Hmm.
quartered. Excellent. Why? Because, guys, the yarn all looks the same. Hard to tell you've made progress if you can't show the bloody squares. And I'm mostly done a third square. Look, I'm on a second ball.
Ooh, on a second ball.
Uh-huh.
Is that why it's been replaced by a duck up on your shelf?
Listen, we're gonna have to talk about the duck in the room in a hot second. And the only reason you know it's there is because I pointed it out to you.
Honestly, yeah. It takes up the same amount of space. I didn't realize right away.
Oh, well, it does. It's freaking huge. So I'm on the decreases for my third square.
Nice.
It's like you know.
She heard the squares hit the floor. Neither are
Yeah,
bed.
it's like you know when I'm using this yarn. Yeah, you don't need anything. You really don't. Yeah. So third square is in the decreases mode, but now we have a problem.
Hmm.
I don't have enough to do a king size blanket.
That is a problem.
It's a problem. So I was thinking about it, and then I was thinking about it some more. And yeah, she's claimed the squares on the floor. And I was thinking about it some more. And I think I figured out what I want to do. I'm gonna
Okay.
make a fourth square,
Hmm.
and then I'm going to do a 1 or 2 rounds of granny square cluster stripe rows around each of the 4 squares.
Okay.
Not solid on how many rounds I'm going to do around each of the 4 squares. I'm going to join them so that way there's a granny square stripe in between each. So I'm basically turning each of the 4 large squares into their own window boxes.
Okay.
And we'll have the granny square clusters in between. And then from that point, I'm just going to see how big I can make it in rounds of granny square clusters. And I'm done when I'm out of yarn.
Makes sense.
So that's what
Seems
I'm
like a
going to do.
solid plan.
I had initially thought to like sew the 4 squares together and have a solid middle and then do granny square stripe, like granny square clusters all the way around. But I kind of
Hmm.
like the idea of them being their own individual corner with like the 1 or 2 rows in between. I obviously gonna have to do a row to see how tall the row is, to see how wide that stripe in the middle, that T shape in the middle is gonna be. So I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure if it'll be 1 row or 2.
that makes sense.
She's still talking to me. So that's still a little bit up in the air, but I liked that a little bit better than like the solid sew the 4 together and then do the granny square stripes on the outside. Or granny square rounds on the outside, however you want to phrase that. Hello. What would you like? So I'm aware it's after 11 o'clock our time, but you have astronaut kibble. I know you don't believe me, but I need you to go check. 6:01 this morning. She would not go check her food bowl. Bobby, I'm starving. I don't have any food. What are you doing? What are you doing? She had food. She
Hmm.
had three
Of
quarters of
course
a
you
food
did.
bowl. Yeah, but she wouldn't go look. And I know she didn't go look because she had been kicking me not 5 minutes earlier in her sleep. She literally rolled over, got up, and walked over and started headbutting me. She did not leave bed. So she did not check her food bowl.
Not the brightest creature.
In the apocalypse, you're dead. So I'm done. And now it's Auntie Diana's turn. Where you going? Where you going? It's Auntie Diana's turn.
All right, I did some
No,
spinning this week.
nope.
Carrying on with the, are you okay?
Get out of my face.
I was carrying on with the
Could you decide on a
fiber advent
side and
calendar.
pick and just why? Anybody want a cat? I'm adopting her out. She's 8. She's only a problem half the time now.
Only half.
Well, she's calmed down since she was a child.
Oh. I finished this, which is the gray with a bit of like yellowy orange mixed in.
Okay.
So there's that single done, wound off into a little ball. And I did finish spinning the next fluff. I just haven't wound it off yet, but it's
Oh my
all
God.
purples and blues. Let's see if I can get the lighting nice on there.
Oh, you've gotten into that range. Okay, I like those
Yeah,
ones.
so I think this is day 6 of 12,
Yes,
which
I believe so.
means I'm about half done.
Yay, excellent. I have cat hair on my face.
Mm-hmm. That's slowly coming along. Still don't know what I'm going to make out of it, but that's a later problem.
That is a later
I've
problem.
been very much enjoying the spinning. I always enjoy the
The
spinning so
singles look
much, and
good.
then I just like don't think to do it again for ages.
Oh, you're asking the wrong human. I am spinning. I enjoy it. Have I picked it up? No. And I
Yeah.
know I enjoy it. Still haven't picked it up. Yeah, fair. Fair. All right.
Mm-hmm. Can't explain it. You
That leaves
get
whip it
into
or
it for a
rip it.
while, you drop it for a while. So it does.
My whip it or rip it is off screen. So let's insert a cut so I can go get it. There's only so much space around here. Whip it or rip it. We
Mm-hmm.
had some deadlines. We had some crafting. We had some goals. And I need to know, is carnage occurring? These are very important pieces of information for me.
Should I go first?
Yeah. Well, I know on my end if carnage is occurring. I can see what I've worked on. You're the mystery, my dear.
I'm the mystery. Okay. I got very distracted with that vest and
Oh
I
yeah.
almost didn't make it. As we were doing our bonus content last night, I'm like, I should measure, and I was not at the 4 inches I declared. So I made sure I was at
Uh-oh.
4 inches before I went to bed, and then I got another half inch while we were recording today. So this is four and a
Good.
half inches.
Good.
There will be no carnage today. It was a near thing, but there will be no carnage today.
So good.
So I just have to get about, I've got 4.5 inches now, so 2.5 more inches, and then the final shoulder shaping just up next to the seam.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's not too bad. You're doing great then.
Yeah. So almost done the back panel. Yay.
I believe I said I had to be ready to do my third row of skulls.
Yes, that sounds right.
Look who's ready to do her third row of skulls.
Nice.
Isn't that pretty?
That looks great.
The pink and the
Just measuring
gray.
this, measuring my
Super
shirt on
classy.
me. This is
I'm
gonna be great.
finally
I'm very
getting this
excited for the sweater.
the very easy, super simple to understand gray webbing sections are finally starting to make sense. The complicated skull, we're going to pay attention to what you're doing. Whoosh, and done. Simple increase of chain lengths and double crochets into double crochets. Struggle bus. I
Sometimes the
don't,
simplest things are the hardest.
I don't know why. But we've made some good progress on the sibling shawl. I'm ready for the third skull. The pattern is on repeats now. I just repeat the skull in through to the end of the skulls. The pattern says to do it 2 more times. I might end up doing it an additional time after that, just to get a little bit of extra drape and drama. But I think this will make a very lovely summer shawl for my sister.
I love the skulls so much.
It's very her, but it's also really classy. So like she can take it to weddings or showers and stuff, but then still have something nice to cuddle up in because my sibling's a cold human, which is fair. She's always been that way. I'm making the shawl out of the pink is the bunnies frighten me from Erin and Fireweed Fiber Co. And the DK and the gray is some Barocco vintage. So this will be her very
I forgot
first
to say
grown-up
about my
adult
yarn.
shawl. She has to hand wash this bad boy. I in fact
Forgot to
may
say about
include
my yarn was
instructions that say just bring home to Jocelyn.
This is the chili pepper chocolate from Ancient Art. Um, Vintage pattern.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this shawl, I think it's called Wicked Skull Shawl. You know what? There are show notes. Diana makes them.
There are show
There's a
notes.
link.
Yes, I just did the show notes. It's the Wicked Skull shawl, Wicked Skull half circle shawl, but Wicked with two Ks.
Wicked with two Ks. Okay. I
With
remembered
two Ks.
Skull, and I've now remembered Wicked. So I remembered the Wicked Skull, but all I see when I look at when I pull up the pattern is Wick. Then it runs out of space to tell me the rest of it.
Fair.
It got big font, people. Got big font. Good news is, oh, we're on a success run, which means at some point one of us is going to fall flat on our face and there's going to be carnage in the streets.
I know.
Oh God, we're due for some carnage. All right. Do you know what you would like to put up for me to vote on for this week? Noting that we're post birthday week,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and from our perspective, we have a Patreon Enid, which will, by the time this goes out, have just happened.
In fact,
Time.
I'm
So,
so tempted to say sweater again, but we know that's bad, so I'm not going to do the sweater again.
well, I mean, it's a risk.
It is a
I certainly
risk.
won't discourage you if what you want to work on is the sweater. I say do it up. You know it's a risk, but if you're willing to take the risk, yeah, why not? It just increases the odds of carnage, and we all know we're here for the carnage.
Hmm. Well, I'm a little tempted because I've got this new vest pattern that's like grabbing me right now.
Mhm,
So I will perhaps not say sweater. I will say
mhm,
four
mhm,
squares of the proper size, of which I currently have
mhm.
zero proper sized squares for the
Okay,
vest.
yep,
Four
yep.
squares, which would be
That's half a vest.
half of what I need for one color,
Yeah.
because I need eight of each color. So that's like a
Okay,
quarter of a vest. So
vest. Okay.
four, four of these squares of the proper size, of which this is
Yeah,
not one. This is slightly too large.
yeah, because you're going down to a 3.5, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
which means I'm actually really happy about it because it means I can use my ergonomic Pac-Man hook.
Oh
I'm pretty
yeah.
excited about it.
That's
This is gonna
amazing.
be really
Okay.
cute.
I'm very stoked
I'm
for you.
actually totally gonna make this a post later. Um, so
Okay, I
do
took
we
a
want
photo
that?
for WIP It Wednesday. Never posted it.
Good job. Do we want that, or do we want, since I did an inch on the heel, do we want heel plus 1 inch on the cabled socks?
Okay. Okay.
Squares or socks?
I'm gonna go squares. I'm gonna go
Squares?
squares. Yeah.
Squares. Okay. We'll do
Yeah.
four proper
Nothing
size squares.
nothing against the cabled socks, but I don't want you to lose momentum on the squares.
Okay.
And
Four
right now
proper
that's what
size
you're thinking
squares.
about doing. So let's do the thing you're excited about. I have faith in the cabled socks because you've wanted them for so long. I'm not worried about you picking those up and
Yeah,
working on
yeah.
them. I'm not worried.
Oh, they will absolutely get worked on. I just need to focus a little bit and not get distracted by shiny new projects.
We have a shawl design or a fingerless mittens design. Why the shawl is in the
Ooh.
smaller bag, I don't know. It just
Which yarn
is.
was the shawl design? Was that the gradient yarn?
This is the shawl and a ball yarn
Ooh, I do like that one. I
for the for
would
the
like
summer
to
for the summer
see.
shawl. Yeah. Because
Ooh.
I need to make progress. Then I'm gonna switch bags because this is ridiculous. Move into the darker contrast stripe. But yeah, I would say probably a healthy fingering on a 5 millimeter, so we're pretty drapey. I'd be comfortable saying 2 inches minimum, 4 inches for a stretch. Because the rows do get longer as you go. It's a top-down triangle shell, guys. You know how that all works. Them rows, they don't stay short. They don't stay short. We're finally making some progress on the fingerless mittens I want to make out of the DK weight yarn. Striping the colors from January's Sock Club, which is the Jeep from Jurassic Park. I don't have it in sock. I have it in DK weight this year. With some more Barocco vintage.
Hmm. This is a hard
Interesting.
choice because I want to see both of these.
I know. I know. I couldn't make up my mind, so I was like, that sounds like the perfect collection of things to talk about. Oh no.
I'm gonna say dinosaur yarn.
Dinosaur yarn? Dinosaur yarn it is.
Therefore, fingerless mitts.
They're for fingerless mitts. Same thing. No, they're mittens, so I'll say 4 inches minimum, 6 inches stretch.
Okay.
They're shorter rows.
They are indeed.
Even though it's ribbing, it's one by one ribbing, and I don't mind one by one ribbing. I really don't. I don't mind one by one ribbing. So,
All right, so I'm
oh,
doing four
excellent.
squares and you're doing several inches of mitten, fingerless mitt.
Mitten, which is good. I'll be well into the pattern, and you can see the texture pattern I've picked. Yay.
Nice.
Stoked. Okay, in which case, that just leaves a unscripted Patreon ad, and
We have
then we're done.
acquisitions. We have
Oh, you had
acquisitions.
birthday acquisitions. My stuff is
Yeah.
still in mail and stuff. I just want to do it once when it's all here, and then I'm done with it. So,
All right, very quickly. I got a couple of pattern book things. I got this like needlework magazine, but it's all about Regency stuff and it does include a knitting pattern,
ooh,
plus just some
nice.
really pretty other stuff. Let's see if I can very quickly find the knitting pattern. There's embroidery, but it's all like really cute Regency stuff. It's not the thing. I think it's close. If I was smart, I would have saved the page, but oh, well, this isn't the one I was thinking of, but there's a very pretty shawl.
Uh-huh.
So it does have some knitting in it. Um, and then as I pull off sticky notes here, I got Imagine Landscapes gnome pattern book.
Oh, good.
They're really cute.
Are you gonna make them?
I think some people are getting gnomes for Christmas this year because I think this would be a fantastic use for all those really brightly colored little sock minis,
Oh, yeah, really
highly
good.
variegated, because it would just end up looking like little striped sweaters on the gnomes.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that'd be a really good call.
So, people are getting gnomes for Christmas.
I'll remind you of this once you make the first gnome and realize that it's a toy and there's fiddliness to it.
I know, but I haven't. No, that's not entirely true. I have made a gnome. I made a gnome
Hmm.
for Osa's advent calendar a couple years ago.
You
And
sure
I
did.
didn't mind it. I did not mind
Okay.
it. And it came out really cute.
It's really hard
I
to
will
go wrong
suffer
with
through
a
some
gnome.
fiddliness with for
So
cuteness.
cute.
Our smiling sheep yarn order showed up.
Oh, did it? Oh, good.
It did. And I just unvacuum packed it. It was thick.
I mean, it's two sweater quantities plus two skeins of sock yarn.
So
It just made sense
like
considering you're
like they
shipping
somehow
me
vacuum packed
stuff. Oh
these
my
like
God.
bags like
They are vacuum packed.
yeah.
Whew,
So we each got a skein of paper and fire,
you did.
which is sort of fox colors.
They're really
It's like a brownish
cute.
red and a gray and a white.
I think they make really nice socks.
So we each got one of those.
Okay.
And then
I mean, I
this
say it
one's
like I
mine.
don't know what we ordered. I remember what we ordered.
And then we both got the same colorway but in different bases.
Mhm.
So this was Poison. It's less gray in person. It's very pretty green.
Excellent.
So I got the DK base.
Yeah.
Try and get some sunlight on there. So that's gonna be very pretty.
Yes, it is.
And I'm not gonna unvacuum pack this, because yours still has to go in the mail. But this
Yeah.
is yours
Yeah.
on the differenter
Excellent.
base, the sock base.
On the sock base, yeah.
Yeah. So same color, different base, which I
Very
think looks
excited.
ever so slightly darker than mine. So anyway, this is gonna be gorgeous. Yeah.
One more
What you
present in
thinking?
and done. I'm gonna do a photo post once I have everything, and it's just gonna be the one photo post and then finished.
I'm
Uh,
thinking since I was thinking maybe that tea party sweater that I had been talking about,
oh,
but
maybe.
it's not as gray as I thought. So now I'm thinking, do you remember that snake sweater t-shirt that I made for niece?
Mhm.
Um it's actually an adult pattern that I had to math the heck out of to make it fit her.
I remember.
Um but I still want one, and that
So
would be
you're
a
gonna make one?
fantastic green for it.
It really would. Like
So I
that's an
might make
excellent
myself
green.
a matchy snake shirt.
Mhm. Pretty.
This was a couple of years ago now, so she probably outgrown it already. But you know what? I'll make myself a snake shirt
Yeah,
and not
absolutely.
have to modify it into cobras and child sizing. It's highly questionable.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I'll wait till mine shows up, but I'm pretty sure it won't take me long to find a pattern.
I mean, it's
Pretty sure it won't take-
gorgeous, ever so slightly tonal green, like literally anything.
So much of their yarn is so
Lace
pretty.
texture, plain stockinette, like it'll be gorgeous as anything.
So pretty. Their yarn is so pretty. I'm very, very excited we have some now. I really only have one acquisition. Mostly because like I got a skein of Tristan's sock yarn. I don't know where I've put it. It's somewhere in
Oh
the
no,
apartment.
not the safe place.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Someone will walk in at some point and go, "Here it is," and put it away from me. And that someone's probably going to be Erin. She's going to spot it right away and it'll be fine. But until eyeballs have arrived in the apartment and notice I have a skein of sock yarn sitting around somewhere, I don't know where it is. That's fine. I know it's in here and it will be turned into socks at some point because it's the yarn colorway that Tristan designed. So, yeah, I obviously have one. I obviously have one. So where is it gonna live? I don't know. We'll find a home for it. What I did find a home for was the duck in the room. Guys noticed a very
I
large
like the
yellow duck?
duck.
You notice that very large yellow duck? Okay, first off, there's ambulances
Extremely large
and
duck.
fire trucks driving past my apartment. Duck. Look at how big this duck is in comparison to my head.
That's a serious duck. There's no joking around with that duck.
It's a hard plastic duck. Yeah, she needs a name. And I decided last night I don't think she needs a hat and a scarf. I think she needs a cape.
Ooh, okay.
So she needs a name, and I need to knit her a little cape, and I need my quadruped to stop being a nuisance. But it was a birthday present from your mother-in-law. Because as
Uh,
everyone knows, she's been finding and buying for me for the last couple of years randomly little rubber duckies in different seasonal variations. Now I have the classic rubber duck. It's massive. I put it back. I had nowhere else to put it. Like that's the only place it would go. That space was holding a carrot cake anniversary ball of yarn, a big
one of the
duck.
giant
But
kilogram balls of yarn. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She needs a cape and she needs a name. So if you guys have got some good names, drop them in the comments down below for me. And that's what I've got. And a monster of a quadruped. Shall we do an unscripted Patreon ad and then we will call her done for the day?
All right. If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you can do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we chat about all manner of things, enable each other into stuff. I bought a whole bunch of patterns and cast on a vest. As we do.
As we do.
Memberships, I'm working on it. I have to wait for another stupid little piece of paper. It's a whole
Same.
saga at this point. Short version is I have to wait for a second piece of paper in the mail and then press some more buttons. And then hopefully, Google's really bad at telling me what all of the problems are up front so I can just deal with them all up front. No, I have to go digging and clicking through buttons and then figure out, oh, it doesn't work because of this problem that you weren't telling me about.
Oh, they all do it.
Yeah.
They all do it.
Anyway, I'm working on it.
Okay. It's fine. The important part is you're working on it. And we'll get done when it gets done. There's only so much one can do in a day.
On the plus side, we'll
Especially
drop a
when
whole
you're,
bunch of Stardew when it's finally back up.
which is good. However, yeah, until then, guys, well, yeah, budgets, they're a real life thing. If you can't financially support, don't worry. Super understand. You have no idea how much just liking and commenting on a video really helps us out. It's huge. So even if all you can do is that, super appreciate it. Otherwise, we're good for the week. So I'm gonna go until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to
Don't
craft.
forget to craft.